You're funny.
He who laughs last, that's what I say.
Come on. Well, do you know what I say?
What's that then?
Well, if you want to look a prat,
Wear a stupid hat.
You've heard it.
Afraid so.
All right, girls, can't keep you away from the place. Coming up for coffee,
No thanks, in here. I'm cutting down.
What are you doing this time?
Playing slot machines.
Again? You know you're in breach of your pay.
Well, I am a naughty girl.
Sorry to keep wasting your time.
Yeah, well, we have got better things to do. Return 9:10 a.m.
Any more problems, Mr. Walsh, just give us a call.
Just hang on to her this time. Because if I find she's absconded again, I'll lock her up.
Ooh, can't wait. Have me phone number as well if you like.
Sierra Oscar from 340.
Go ahead, Dave.
We're leaving Milford Court now, son. I don't believe it! Why didn't you hold on to her?
It's not that easy.
Mr. Walsh! I think she's dead! It's Caroline! She's dead! She's dead!
Caroline, is it?
Yeah. Tracy found her.
Sierra Oscar from 487. We need an ambulance at Milford Court, urgent.
Open that.
There's a young
You give
girl
me a hand
who's
now.
collapsed
Where?
and
Just on the
unconscious.
floor.
Looks like an
Could have
overdose.
been around.
Understood, Cathy.
Is
What
she
do you think
breathing?
she taken?
I don't know. I didn't even know she had them.
Milford Court.
Residential home.
Cathy Marshall's there with Quinnan. Looks like suicide.
Yeah, answer that, will you?
The divisional surgeon's with them.
Get someone from CID.
Well, Alistair Gregg's there. He was in the area.
Right, I'm on my way over.
Do you want her moving?
No, they'll all want to take a look at her.
Anything suspicious?
No sign of a forced entry. Nothing disturbed. It's a suicide.
Who's next door?
Young girl named Taylor.
Morning, Inspector. She is dead, at the risk of stating the obvious. Overdose of these things early hours of this morning. She's been dead for several hours. It's a possible respiratory arrest, but it'll be in my report. Post-mortem.
Did you search the body?
Yes, nothing suspicious.
She left a note.
Isn't life fun?
Not when you're that age.
When was she found?
Well, it was about 9:10, just as we were leaving. We heard a shout, went back in. She was unconscious and we found her. Kath called for an ambulance and I tried to resuscitate her, but she was already dead.
Oh, you did your best. Witnesses?
Tracy, who found her. The care officer hadn't seen her since the night before, and both the rooms up the corridor are empty.
What about the other room?
Anne-Marie Taylor says she was asleep.
I want to interview everyone, including the kids, starting with her. Obviously, I'll need you with me for that. I'll search the room now. Oh, Quinnan, you round people up before they start drifting off. We'll use the common room. Any questions?
Look,
Quinnan, job for you.
I've got the Taylor girl in the common room, sir.
Caroline kept a diary. I want you to read it, find out if she was unhappy or upset about anything. 5 minutes, then start bringing the rest down, OK? Right, sir. Alistair, you're going to talk to some of these girls, yes?
Yes, sir. First girl down the corridor for you.
How is she?
Bit spiky. She's not very forthcoming, I'm afraid. It's to be expected, I suppose.
See you back at the station, Alistair.
Yeah, hang on.
She's in here, sir.
What's her first name again?
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie.
Yeah?
I need to talk to you about Caroline. You have the room next to hers.
Yeah, I was asleep.
You didn't hear anything unusual?
No,
When did you last see her?
yesterday.
Did you speak to her at all?
Probably.
Oh, you weren't friends?
She didn't fit in. Needed looking after, didn't she?
Oh, why didn't she fit in?
Not your average slag, was she? I mean, you've got to be thick or a slag to get on in this place. She didn't have what it takes.
Have you any idea why she...
What, she killed herself? Like I said, she didn't have what it takes. Look, nothing personal, but every time you lot are around, there's always something wrong.
Anne! She's all right when she's not upset.
Paul Walsh.
Inspector Monroe. Anne-Marie says that Caroline didn't fit in. Is that true?
I suppose it is, yeah.
Well, why was she here?
Caroline made an allegation of sexual assault.
Against whom?
Her father and the residential social worker in her previous home. While they sorted that one out, she was transferred over here. When he'd finished, it was decided she should stay.
And where's the man now?
It was a she. She resigned after she was cleared.
When was this?
3 months ago.
And when was the alleged assault by her father?
2 years ago. The family had a history of problems and support. Caroline was 11 when it happened. The original order for custody was issued when Caroline first made the accusation against her father.
And what was the outcome?
Nothing was proved, and dear old Daddy didn't want her back. Typical. She gets the courage up to say something about the assault and ends up in care, permanent.
Where she makes another allegation.
It happens. Cry for help?
Did you see Caroline last night?
No, Rouse was with her.
And Rosalind Fisk?
The residential social worker. She spent a lot of time with Caroline.
Can you think of any reason why Caroline might kill herself?
Dozens.
And she was being abused?
Not while she was in care.
By her father?
Definitely. Between me and you.
Rosalind Fisk, sir.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Walsh. I'll speak to you later.
Pleasure.
Mrs. Fisk, Mr. Walsh tells me that you knew Caroline well.
I like to think I know all of the girls well.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to...
It's okay. This wasn't the best home for her, mixing with kids like Lynn Corby. But there was nowhere else for her to go. We tried finding her another place, but there just aren't any places.
Was she having problems?
No, she was coping quite well. A lot of the girls here are waiting for trial. Too young for bail hostels. Places like this aren't meant for kids like Caroline.
But there was a problem.
She was a victim, not a young offender.
Before this morning, when did you last see her?
Last night, about 9 o'clock, in the kitchen, she was making a cup of tea.
How did she seem?
Well, I only saw her for a minute. She came in as I was on my way out. She said she was going to bed, and I said something like, "You were early." And she said she fancied an early night. She seemed a bit down, so I asked her if anything was the matter, and she said she was just tired.
And she was on her own?
No, as I came out, one of the girls came in behind me.
Who?
Lynn Corby.
And did she speak to Lynn Corby?
She must have, but I didn't hear.
And you didn't see either of them again?
No, when I went back into the kitchen, they'd both gone.
Where's Lynn Corby now?
Well, that's the problem. We can't hold on to her. She keeps absconding.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisk. She is probably the last person to see Caroline Bennett alive, Lynn Corby.
Yeah, I brought her back this morning.
Where is she now?
She absconded again, sir.
When?
Just as I brought her back. They can't hold on to her.
Well, where's she gone? Home?
No. City centre, definitely.
But you can find her?
No problem. Wherever there's a slot machine.
Pick your own banana. Pick your own papaya.
They're still alive with that village guard. With that village guard there, fresh and live stretch we've got here today. They're all alive here. Where are you then? We've got to be here.
Lovely, some on the right mash here today.
You two, out. Come on, you're underage. Come on. Well, I've told you two before. She done a runner.
How'd you guess?
Shame being back here.
Where's she live?
Jasmine Alley.
Oh, can you spare a moment, Mr. Walsh?
I was just going to... Inspector Monroe, can I
Yes?
see you for a moment in private? It is important. I'm Margaret Randall, Assistant Director of Social Services. 5 minutes, Paul, all right? I've been asked to come down because of Caroline's death. Is it true that you're treating it as suspicious?
It's a routine inquiry.
So it's just a matter of procedure?
Yes.
I need to know because Paul has just handed me his resignation.
Well, because of this morning?
Pressure, which means me. Of course there has to be an internal inquiry. To put it bluntly, I have to find out whether the death was due to Paul's negligence.
Is that a possibility?
No, I'm certain it isn't, but I do need to talk to him. I want to sort this out before the press get here. A resignation is just what they'll be looking for.
I need to see him.
I don't want him put under any more strain.
I'm here to investigate the circumstances of a death, Mrs. Randall.
Could you just give me a short time?
No.
Well, I did my best.
Mrs. Randall, wouldn't this normally be handled by Mr. Walsh's principal officer, rather than yourself?
Shortage of staff. He finds it rather difficult to be in 6 places at once.
We haven't seen the mother and the child's in care. So what now?
Caroline had a boyfriend.
Yeah?
Yeah, Mike. Well, according to this, he took her to Spain with him twice.
She was in care.
Well, no, I know. But that's what it says here.
Mr. Monroe, it's about Caroline. We had a break-in here last week. Somebody went through the offices. Didn't take much. I think they took some money. But the point is now, I don't know if this is any use. When Caroline found out, she went berserk. Absolutely berserk.
Did she say anything in particular?
Well, not really. She was very upset. I couldn't find out what it was all about.
And you've no idea why?
No, I'm sorry.
When was this?
This was last Saturday night sometime. I found out about it because when I came in on early, Paul was clearing up.
Paul Walsh?
Yes, his was one of the offices they went into.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Fisk. Sierra Oscar from Monroe.
Sierra Oscar.
I want some information on a break-in at Milford Court, Alec.
Understood.
Took her out a lot.
Who?
This bloke, Mike. Dancing, art galleries, opera. Sounds like a right ponce.
You know your trouble, Dave. You're too sensitive.
Yeah, I know. And sophisticated. Only took her to Wales. They rented a cottage. She had a better time than I do.
How old is he?
I don't know. Doesn't say. Why?
Sounds like an older man, that's all.
Nothing. No, sir. No reported break-in at Milford Court.
Oh, there's someone here who says there was one a week ago.
They didn't report it. Not to us, anyway.
OK, thanks, Alec.
You know the break-in Saturday night?
Yes.
It was one of the kids. They've done it before.
Who?
I don't know which one.
Why wasn't it reported?
If it's one of the kids, what's the point?
A crime had been committed.
They've all committed crimes. Most of them are here on bail.
So we can't investigate?
You haven't got the consent you need. Look, they're anti. You've seen that this morning.
So just because a few people don't like us, you're saying this is a no-go area?
No, it's not like that.
So what is it like?
It's like one of your boys bringing a girl back 3 times in 1 week. It's like here, walking in, turning around and walking straight back out again. I can't hold on to it. He's sick of it because he knows that next time he brings her back, she will do exactly the same, and there's nothing that either of us can do about it. It's me, not bothering to call you because we've both got better things to do, and I'm sick of it. Look, I'm sorry. Don't quote me, but it's this morning. I've had enough. I've offered me resignation.
I know.
I can't even do that without arguing. The break-in happened sometime Saturday night.
And what was taken, Mr. Walsh?
Cash box and my calculator.
Any files?
No, they're locked away.
And no files were looked at? Caroline Bennett's, for example?
No.
Did Lynn Corby have anything to do with it?
Lynn? Could be. I don't know. Could be just about anyone. That's the problem.
Look, even if she was seeing this bloke, she couldn't have gone on holiday with him because she was here. A bit of a blank on Corby, sir.
Not at the house?
No, nor the arcade.
Oh, Mr. Walsh has just confirmed that she may have been involved in a break-in here.
Well, that might explain it. You can normally find her in half an hour.
In the diary, Caroline mentioned someone called Mike. Well, we think she may have been seeing a man. She claims they went on holiday together.
Sierra Oscar to Inspector Monroe.
Go ahead.
The Chief Super's asking for you, sir. He wants to speak to you in person. Urgent.
Yeah, tell him I'm on my way. Rosalind Fisk. Check with her to see if Caroline was away, then go back to the house. We might just be lucky.
I think Lynn's hopped it. What's the matter, Mrs. Fisk?
I found these. Caroline.
Where?
Lynn Corby's room.
Sierra Oscar from 487.
Andrew?
About Caroline Bennett, sir.
I thought that was a straightforward report to the coroner.
I failed to locate the last person to see the girl alive, sir. I also want more information about a break-in which was left unreported at the home. There are a number of matters still to be cleared up.
Yes, I just had a phone call from the Assistant Director of Social Services.
Margaret Randall?
Apparently you interviewed her earlier this morning, is that right?
In point of fact, sir, she interviewed me.
Cordially?
We had a frank exchange of views. She voiced a number of concerns about the situation.
Such as?
She's conducting an internal inquiry into the running of the home. The officer in charge has resigned, and she was anxious that this would give rise to unnecessary speculation and media interest, which she wanted to avoid. In the circumstance, one can understand her anxiety.
Yes, well, she's coming to see me later on this morning. Apparently the dead girl's father's going to talk to the press. I'll phone you if I need you.
She certainly talks about this Mike quite a lot. You see, this holiday last year's a nonsense. She was here. Mike has to be a fantasy. She was scared stiff of boys, couldn't speak to them.
Yeah, she could certainly write about them, though.
She had quite a literary mind. She was very bright.
Kath.
Snapshots. On the imaginary holiday, she talks about Mike taking snapshots.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Any progress?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. We've just found a load more photographs. They're all hardcore stuff. And the diary talks about this bloke Mike taking snapshots, photographs. Mrs. Fisk thinks Caroline's talking about the photographs.
I want Carver. Bring her in.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Number 4.
Yep. Look, I'm going to check the garages, all right?
Are they in?
Out.
Come on, then.
Get dressed and don't be stupid.
I'll say you rip this off.
Kath.
I will not have my officers dragged into the political arena.
But there are political implications.
Which do not concern the police.
Look, we need help, not hindrance. 4 newspapers have telephoned my office this morning. It's bad publicity.
Yes, and we have told them it's a routine investigation. Now, that is the best we can do.
But this search makes it look like a major scandal. Obviously, the press are now convinced that we've got something to hide.
Press speculation is not my concern, Mrs. Randall.
Well, it should be. The multi-agency approach is supposed to be us working together.
Well, this is hardly a matter of community policing now, is it?
Oh, it's an isolated incident. And the last thing we need is a hostile press making the public even more unsympathetic.
We have to learn to deal with a hostile press now, don't we?
Do you know how much mileage the opposition group will make out of this? If they get elected, they will just use it as an excuse to make more cuts. And then you can forget about the multi-agency approach, because we simply won't exist.
I am not concerned with party politics. Now, look, my officers were acting on the instructions of the coroner. Yes, come in. Oh, Andrew, you've met Mrs. Randall. Now, look, my officers were acting on the instructions of the coroner. They found evidence germane to a police inquiry. Now, my officers are going to carry that inquiry to its logical conclusion, regardless of the political implications.
We discovered a photograph of the dead girl. We have reason to believe it may be connected with someone at the home.
I had absolutely no idea.
There was a break-in at the home a week ago. We think that this may be connected with Lynn Corby's disappearance, and that both events are linked to Caroline Bennett's suicide.
Well, clearly it's out of my hands.
So we got suspicion of theft.
And these such.
All right, yeah. Hey! Get this under control.
I can't hear myself.
Get it under control.
Okay.
You couldn't get it printed, right? You will be interviewed by a police officer. You will have a social worker present. You are entitled to a solicitor. Do you understand? Go on. All right, next. Hey, let's have those 3 over here.
Hi, Sarge. How you doing, babes?
What's this, 3 degrees?
I've told you already, no!
So you don't remember where you got the cash box?
No!
Calculator?
No!
Well, what about the camera?
What camera?
Don't play around. This!
Someone give it to me.
And did this someone have a name?
I can't remember. I don't know them properly.
So someone you don't know said, here, have this camera, and you took it?
They told me to look after it for them.
Yeah, along with these negatives.
I don't even know about them.
Interview interrupted by WPC Marshal at 12:46 p.m.
Lynn Corby. Theft, obtaining through deception and an impending court appearance. She was bailed to Milford Court.
Demanding money with menaces.
In court next week.
Interview recommenced at 12:47 p.m. Are they yours, Lynn?
What do you think I am?
I want to know who took them. Was it you?
You're sick! I want to get out of here.
No, come on now.
Where did you get them? Who's it going to be this time?
What?
The blackmail! Come on, let's be honest. If you didn't take them, someone else did and you found out about it. I want the name. Caroline's. It tells us that the photographs were taken by a man, someone she knew, someone she liked, trusted. Mike. Oh, we don't think that's his real name. There was a break-in. The office. Is that where you got the camera? From the same drawer as the cash box? And these? Were you blackmailing her?
Don't be stupid! I was blackmailing him.
Mr. Walsh.
Just take a seat there, please.
Hey, what's the difference between a paedophile and a greyhound?
Young, you keep that for the canteen. Right, you.
Why did I choose Caroline? She was quiet. Struck me as the kind of kid who wouldn't object. Seemed she was less likely to report me.
She reported her father and made an allegation against a social worker.
Look where it got her. I wanted her to cooperate. I didn't use force. Just started spending time with her, talking to her, paying her special attention.
Just her?
Yeah, there was just Caroline. It made her feel wanted. It's easy if they don't have a happy home life, or if they've been abused before.
What did you do?
Accidental contact. I'd bang into her, accidentally at first. She didn't object, so I carried on. See if she'd react. Testing her out. She didn't object, so I carried on. Started isolating her from the others. I shouldn't have taken the photographs. I knew that was a mistake. Then when they went missing...
Where?
My flat. She didn't mind the head and shoulders. Then, when I suggested the others, she was too far in to say no.
Who was Mike, Mr. Walsh?
Caroline's Mr. Right.